Hey guys, Deborah with Pinching Pesos here, and it's time for... What time is it? They paid what? Sales update time. We're going to be going over eBay, Amazon, and Bonanza. I didn't forget it this week. And I have a new program that was introduced to me yesterday that I think is really neat for Amazon. It's called a Refunds Manager, and it basically is a software that will go through your Amazon account and find reimbursements that you haven't been reimbursed for that you are supposed to have. And so it's basically like it's finding your money that you would have normally missed out on. And I know that you can do that for free and you can do that yourself, but for people that just don't take the time to do it, I mean, it's basically finding money for you. It is a free software, but they do charge you 25% of what they find. And so that may seem like a lot, but if it's money that you wouldn't have normally known was missing, paying 25% for it to be found is totally worth it. So I'll show that to you later in the video, but let's go ahead and get started on the sales. It wasn't bad. We're talking the week of January 31st through February the 6th. I wrote it down this time. I was all prepared. I had $469.55 worth of sales on eBay, and I had a total of $221.58 on Amazon, and $49.35 on Bonanza, coming to a total of $740.48 for the week. So yeah, pretty stellar. Amazon has been really slow for me just because I haven't sent anything in. I do have a shipment ready to go. Everything's labeled. It just needs to be put in the box and shipped off. And I haven't done it. I'm gonna be really honest and say that it's been a really stressful week for me, and I lost my mojo again, and I really wish I wasn't on this roller coaster ride of emotions all the time, where I'm super productive and then super not. And my daughter today, it was really funny because she asked me, my 8-year-old. She goes, "How was your day?" And I was like, it wasn't great. She goes, "Well, what'd you do?" And I said, I didn't do anything. And she goes, "Wow, because you were really, really productive, and then now you're really, really not." And she goes, "That's sad." and, and it really is. And I really need to find my groove again, because I haven't listed in a couple of days, and I have plenty of stuff to list. I haven't, I did list some of the things that I bought when I went sourcing the other week. I think I listed about 12 items, which was really good. But since then, I've just been kind of meh. And yeah, so I was thinking yesterday, and I wasn't sure, but I had considered taking a hiatus from Facebook, which I've done before a couple of times. I've taken a break and just kind of got off the grid a little bit. And then I'm thinking that also the reseller Stew Show may take a break for a week or two, just to kind of regroup, because we actually are restructuring the show and kind of the way that it works, because there's been some criticism lately, and I'm not saying that it's because of the criticism, but it's, from viewers or anything. But, I take things into consideration, and when I hear something, and I, just like, if you notice right now, uh, my font is bigger on the screen. I'm, here, because I heard several people say that they had a really hard time seeing what I was talking about because they're looking at my video on their phones, and since I don't necessarily go into detail about, oh, this is a Kong paracord collar, blah, 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 I just say, oh, well, this sold, the people can't really see what it is that I'm talking about. So I did try to make my font bigger, so I hope that helps. So I do take into consideration the feedback that I get. And while 99% of it is positive and great, people do give me constructive criticism, which I really do appreciate. Other than, you suck and your show sucks and this sucks. I hate you. I don't get that. I don't get hate, which I do appreciate. Very much so that I don't get that. But I even more appreciate that I get constructive criticism that helps me improve my videos and improve my show and things like that. So I hope the bigger font helps those that were saying that they couldn't see the text. I do have a larger monitor, so my text can look kind of small on my side. And I mean, to you guys from my side, just because, I have a 24-inch monitor, and you're looking at it on a 4-inch cell phone screen. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into the sales. I had a couple collars that I had to, if you remember, I bought over 100 dog collars at PetSmart back in December. They had put them on sale for $5.99, and they were typically anywhere from $19.99 to like $24.99. And so I had thought maybe I was making a bad buy because I was like, why are all of these collars $5.99? And even on their website for PetSmart, they had them for $5.99. So I was like, am I making a mistake here? But if you go to the PetSmart website now and look at these exact same collars, they're back up to full price. So it really was a sale. Sometimes when stores run sales, it's really more of a it's like a fake sale, where it goes on sale and it stays on sale and it doesn't really go back up ever. These ones actually, fortunately, did go back to regular price. So yay! So I had a couple collars that didn't get sent into Amazon just because they didn't have listings. And I didn't want to create a listing for like one collar, one color, one size. And then I only had about, I don't know if it's about 12 or so that just didn't get sent in. So I put them on eBay and they've been slowly selling. I did raise my price. I had them at $14.95. They went on sale at one point, and so people were getting them for like anywhere from $12.95 to $13.95. And then I decided, I was like, you know what? I really need to raise the price of these, and so I raised it up to $16.95, which is still a great price because it's cheaper than if you bought it at PetSmart if you went on PetSmart.com. So anyway. So this sold. One of the customers, I sold 2 of these, but one of the customers actually gave me a call on my toll-free number that I have. I have one through Call 8. It only cost me like $2 a month to have the toll-free number, and it rings into my cell phone. And he called me to let me know that the collar was about a half an inch too big for his dog, so he was going to be sending it back, and he wanted an exchange for the medium that I had, and he wanted to make sure that I held it for him. So I went ahead and did pull my medium listing. And he's supposed to be sending me back the large one that he bought. I paid $5.99 for these, like I said, so I'm not profiting a whole lot of money on the collars when I'm selling them on eBay. I think I'm getting $3 or $4. Yeah, $3 and $4. On Amazon, I'm getting double the profit on them because I have them priced higher because they are Prime. Let's see. Next up was this Red Hat Linux, and a friend of mine, you might know, the Albatross. It used to be Albatross, which is really hard to say, but he doesn't go by that anymore. Kind of got me thinking that I had made a mistake in buying this. I paid $4.99 for it at Savers, and then it was 30% off. And he was like, well, why would anybody buy that? Because those programs are free. Linux is free. You can get Linux for free. But it was selling on Amazon. I did get feedback from other resellers that have experience with Linux saying that they would not recommend that I sell it on Amazon. So I did go ahead and put it on eBay. It was there for, I think, about 2 months, 2 or 3 months, something like that. And it sold for full asking price of $49.95. So yay, you just never know, huh? Next up was this PetSafe Instant Fence. I paid, I believe, $7.99 for this. And coincidentally, I had the adapter that I had bought before. Anytime I see any of the dog containment fences, wires, anything that has to do with them, the collars, I always buy them. And so fortunately I actually had, and it was listed, the adapter for this that I had received in a set of stuff that I had bought. And this one didn't come with the adapter when I bought it at Goodwill. So yeah, it kind of worked out, and it sold for, I believe it was on sale. Yeah, $89.05, which is a really great turnaround on an item I paid $7.99 for. So yeah, if you ever see the Pet Safe or Pet Patrol containment systems, they do sell really well. I always sell anything that I find. The only thing I had trouble selling that I've had for a long time is the wire. I have a Pet Patrol brand of 2 of them, the wires that have to actually go in the ground for the invisible fence, and they haven't sold, and I'm not really sure why. Other than that, maybe it's the brand, because I know the Pet Safe ones are more desirable than the Pet Patrol ones because Pet Patrol ones were discontinued. And I believe it may have had something to do with like Pet Safe saying that they were going against their trademark or something like that. I did have a listing pulled that was a Pet Patrol item because I had, out of habit, also put Pet Safe in the title, and it got pulled for Vero. And I actually even talked to the company about it because I wasn't sure why it got pulled. I didn't notice that I had accidentally put Pet Safe in there, so it was almost like a keyword spamming, and I didn't do it intentionally. So yeah, be careful of that. Do not mix and match Pet Patrol and Pet Safe. They will pull your listing. And then I had bought, okay, this is like one of those things that I say about not needing to touch all the cookies. Okay, so everybody, well, not everybody, but there are several resellers that talk about selling DVD VCR combos. They sell them on Amazon and they make a ton of money. And I jumped on the bandwagon and was like, oh, let me buy some, because the stores have probably 100 of like VCRs and DVD players and things like that. When I finally got around to testing them, a lot of them didn't work, and so I was left with remotes. And so I went ahead and listed remotes in January whenever I was listing all of my stuff, and I've sold, what, 2 or 3, and I only had like 4 or 5, so yeah, pretty awesome. This was just a Daewoo remote, sold for $10.95, free shipping. This is a keychain. It came in the palette reject stuff that I had bought. And remarkably, it's a very pricey keychain. They're little macaroons on there. I know they look like little cheeseburgers, but they're macaroons, or however you say that. And so yeah, $49.95. Let me see if that was on sale. It was on sale. It went for $44.95, free shipping, so not a bad turnaround. So if you ever see these little keychains, you can see they sell for 50 bucks. This Hot Wheels set, actually, I ended up having to refund my customer. I did go ahead and ship it to him, and I let him know prior to shipping out. I guess my nephew got into it, and it was missing a piece. And so I told the customer, I sent him a message. I said, hey, I'm going to cancel your order. I'm issuing you a full refund, but I'm going to go ahead and ship you the item. And he was really happy about it. He left me really good feedback, said that I provided excellent customer service, and that was it. So this came out of the palette reject stuff, and so it didn't really cost me very much, and it went first class shipping, so I was literally out like less than $5 on this item, and I had a really happy customer. I don't like canceling orders. And I've done that several times before, where I've canceled an order, refunded the money, but did go ahead and send them the item anyway. This came from this right here. This giant work bowl. It's humongous. It's like bigger than my head. And I bought it for $2.99 quite a long time ago but I never could find what it went to, so I couldn't list it. But I knew it was gonna bring me at least $50 if I could figure out what it was for. And it sat over there on the shelf forever. And so whenever I was listing my stuff in January, I was like, okay, look, I got to figure out what this is for, or I need to let this go because it's just here taking up space. So I started doing Google search. I actually did a reverse image search on it, and it did, scrolling down like the second page, popped up with this Cuisinart machine, and I was like, that's my workable. And because I just could not buy it. It was huge, and I know I make a ton of money on these things anyway, even the little bitty guys. And so this sold, I believe it actually went on sale. Yeah, for $26.05. It's just the pusher that goes to it. It's a giant Cuisinart machine, 12 cup food processor. And so you can see here I have the work bowl and I have the lid listed. I had a lady that kept making me offers on this lid, and it just wasn't enough money. I might have accepted it if I didn't have free shipping, but this item is so large, it's going to go priority mail or smart post at 2 pounds, and I just wasn't willing to accept her lowball offers, especially since I'm one of the only people with these. There's not a lot of these parts available for the Cuisinart 12 cup processor, so yeah, I'm just not willing to negotiate on this particular item. But speaking of free shipping, I did try out free shipping for 2 months. I hadn't done free shipping in 2 years. And I don't think I'm going to do it. I'm going to have to go back into all of my listings manually and put the shipping back on. Free shipping it doesn't work for my business model, and it doesn't work for a lot of people's business models. I do think, if you're a clothing seller, free shipping makes a lot of sense. If you're selling small items, free shipping makes a lot of sense. But for my particular business, it's not working out for me. I'm finding myself where I'm not accepting offers like I normally do. And I'm also not running those deep discounted sales like I normally do whenever I'm trying to liquidate. When sales are slow, I'll run a 30 or 40 or 50% off sale like over a weekend just to drum up some business. And I still make good profit on my items, and I don't have to worry about the fact that I'm going to lose money on shipping. And so, yeah, me having free shipping has just been a hindrance on my business more than anything, because I'm not running the sales like I normally do, and I'm also really particular about the best offers that I accept. But anyway, I paid $2.99 for this entire unit, the lid, the bowl, and the pusher. So yeah, it's a good return on this. You can see that's $100. I mean, that's $100 worth of parts, off of a $2.99 buy. I had bought some models. I don't normally buy models, but I guess somebody had donated a bunch of models because there was a lot of them there at the Goodwill. And so I was I went crazy. My cart was full that day, and I was just buying everything. And I probably should have reconsidered and not bought these, but they were older models, vintage ones, that I went ahead and bought. And I made a mistake in not knowing that they had been opened. And so some of them were incomplete. This particular one, the box was opened, but it was all sealed up inside. You can see here that it was brand new inside. So I felt comfortable selling this one. The other models that I had bought, I ended up giving to my mom to give to my stepdad. And they were really cool too. They were all old muscle cars from the 70s and 80s. This was the only one that I kept and actually listed. So I believe I paid $2.99 for this one. I think on my sales report, my sales tracker, I put $4.99 because I don't remember exactly. I bought these probably 8 months ago, something like that. So I took a best offer on this one for $20 even, and it did ship, I believe it shipped first class, so it was really late. The price on the Conair Instant Lather Shaving Cream Dispensers has come back. These were used to be super duper high priced. They still are on Amazon, but you can't sell them used. They have to be new. And the price had tanked on these for a while. It was like less than $20. And I saw this one at the Goodwill. It was $2.99. And I went ahead and looked it up again. And that's something that I always recommend to you guys. If there's something that you've kind of brushed off and was like, oh, I'm not buying those anymore, the price has tanked, periodically you need to check again, because I have seen multiple things that had died off 2 years ago, a year ago, and then now the price is back. And so the price of these has come back, and they are going for $30, $40, $50. And I sold mine on sale for $35.95. The customer's already left me good feedback on it. I thought he might be a problem customer because I got a message saying, I received the dispenser today and I've ordered shaving cream and I will leave you feedback, appropriate feedback after I've tested it. And so I was like, oh, darn. But he left me feedback like 2 days later. So Presto Salad Shooter. This was one that I parted out because I had actually sold it on Amazon, and then the customer returned it saying that it wasn't as described. I don't know why. And they kept my box. It had the box, and I sold it on Amazon for like $49. They kept my box and they just sent me back a machine, and there wasn't anything wrong with it. So I don't know what their problem was, but I ended up parting it out. And this I've sold through almost all of the pieces except for like the base and one other piece. So this one sold on sale for $8.95. I was running a 10% off sale. And I paid $2.99 for the whole unit. Here's another dog collar that sold. This one went for $13.95. As you can see, I told you I had the prices pretty low, and I've just recently raised the prices up to $16.95. This had came out of the pallet rejects. I actually had this listing pulled off of Bonanza. It said that there was a copyright infringement on Bonanza, so apparently the company had contacted them and told them to pull it. So on my eBay listing, what I did is I made a revision. I don't know why it does that on your solds, that it doesn't put the descriptions anymore. I made a revision. Doesn't say on here, that had actually said that I had bought this for my nephew who needed a small, and this was a medium. So I was basically saying it like it was a personal item and this was not a business transaction. Because I mean, I should be able to sell anything that I, not anything, but I should be able to sell things that I bought, they're my things. So I went ahead and put that on there just as kind of like a disclaimer, and it sold a couple of days later. These are supposed to be like training masks. There's a like a vent thing that goes on the front, you can see here, that is supposed to help you with your breathing, that you're supposed to use, like your oxygen capacity is higher when you're wearing these masks. I don't know. This finally sold. I had this factory radio for a really long time. It's for a Nissan, and I had started buying factory radios previously, and then I stopped buying them because I had no way of testing them. So I had no way of knowing if they actually worked. And so I used to just kind of roll the dice with them and say that they worked and not know, and I would just wait for the customer to tell me that it didn't work, and then I'd refund their money. But then I decided that wasn't a very good business model to have, and so I just stopped buying them. And the last two that I sold, I actually put on there that it was untested and I don't know if it works or not. But I wasn't getting, full value on a working item if it worked, because I'm charging a untested rate. But this one sold on best offer for $25. It went in a medium flat rate box. So I didn't make a lot of money on this. I did make back my money that I originally paid. So, and it's gone. And apparently it worked because the customer left me good feedback. I finally sold this TI-81 graphing calculator. I'll never buy another one of these. I'll buy graphing calculators. I won't be buying the lower model like 81s, and because I had this for a while, and you can see it sold for $8.95, free shipping. And I paid, I believe, $2.99 for it. So yeah. This came out of the pallet rejects as well. This was an item that was actually sold on Groupon, I believe. And they were selling them for around about this price. It was like $12.95 or $14.95, something like that. So I went ahead and listed it. Fortunately, when they have things like that, I just used their picture. And then I made a photo collage in Picasa, so that way the gallery photo was actually of the front and the back instead of just the front. So I made this in Picasa using the photo collage option. And here's another remote. I believe this one went on sale as well. Yeah, $8.95. And this came off of one of the VCRs that didn't work when I finally did test them. So this one, this got the Sega Game Gear. I'm sorry, I'm trying really hard to stop going this. Sega Game Gear game was sealed, and I bought it. I think I paid too much money for it. It might have been $3.99, and it just doesn't sell for very much money, but I jumped on it because it was new. It was sealed. I mean, you don't run across Game Gear games very often that are sealed, and I figured, you know, I'll get my money. So it finally sold for $14.95 plus shipping, and it went to another reseller who actually, I guess, wants to sell it on Amazon. I didn't see the value in Amazon, otherwise I would put it on Amazon. Because there's games there are these already on there. There's sellers, and I mean they have them for like $9, so I'm not really sure. But he said he wanted to add it to his game collection, like his game catalog. So hey, good for me, good for him. It's a win-win. This came out of the palette rejects as well. This is ingredients for homebrewing beer, and this company True Brew has all kinds of these kits that have the ingredients to make beer. This was a really heavy box. It was like 9 pounds. And fortunately, it fit into a regional B box. And so I shipped it off regional B. Sold for $33.95. And this is what I'm talking about, how I say free shipping isn't working for me, because this particular item I would have priced at $29.95 plus shipping. And instead it went for $33.95 free shipping, because the pricing just wasn't competitive with me saying, oh, this is a $45 item. So yeah, on this particular thing, I would have priced this at $29.95 plus shipping, and I didn't. So yeah, free shipping is going away. This pair of Asics, men's Asics, I paid $7.99 for them. They went on best offer for $35.05. And the customers already left me glowing feedback, so that's yay. I generally will always pick up the Asics if they're in good condition. I know from Asics, back when I used to jog, and I did it a lot, and I would pay, you know, $120 for a pair of Asics. And so I know the value in used Asics because I used to buy used ones when they discontinued the model that I used. I would pay $40 for a pair of used ones that were in really good condition. So I will generally pick up any pair of Asics that I see, unless they're the low-end models that are not really running shoes. They just look like running shoes, but they're not really like competitive running shoes. They're not for runners. The ones that they sell for 30 or $40 brand new, those I won't pick up. But any of the ones that sell for 70 or up, I will pick them up if they're in good shape. And these were actually in really excellent condition. You can see on the bottoms here, the there was still the tread from them being like new. They didn't have a ton of wear on them. So yeah, I consider that very good condition for a pair of running shoes. So that was it on my eBay. Amazon, you can see here, I was at $209.45, and I did have a sale on the first, I mean on the 31st. That was considered part of the week. That was for $12.65. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it was $12.13. You can see my profit is a little low for the first because the first week of the month, just because they take out my store fees. So my $40 of store fee goes through on the first week of the month, so my profits are always less. And then Bonanza, here's my Bonanza sales. Things have really picked up. I've been pretty much, you can see I've been getting at least a sale a day, and I think that's great. You can see that my fees are higher. I do have a up to 19% is what I will allow them to take out for them to advertise my items for sale on Google Shopping and Bing Shopping and a couple other online like search engines. And so you can see like the Batman figure didn't go on, it wasn't sold by Google, but the rest of my sales are all coming off of Google. So I think that this is not a bad percentage to be paying for sales, just because you know, if you think about eBay, your fees are going to be about 10%, but you're not getting into those search engines where the item, you know, is getting exposed to more sellers. So I kind of think that I'm really only paying a 9% fee. And you can see it's really not that much. You think, oh, that's super high, you know, 19% is super high, but I mean, it was $2. This particular item, like the Skip Hop diary that finally sold, and that one came off of Google, you can see only one person looked at it and it sold. And so that's great. So I'm actually really happy with Bonanza. It pulls in my eBay stuff, it pulls in my Amazon FBA listings, it does it all automatically. They have really upgraded the way that they do things over there. I know originally when I had first tried Bonanza, I kept selling things that had already sold. It didn't sync up properly. There was all kinds of duplicates all the time. It just didn't work well. I mean, I closed down my, well, they closed down the shop for me, but yeah, it didn't work well. So they have really greatly improved over you know, recently, and I'm actually really happy with it. So I mean, to me it's like free money because I already put the work in. I've already listed the stuff on eBay, and it's really just syncing it for me, and I'm not really doing any extra work. And then it's also getting presented to Google shoppers as well, which, I mean, that's, you can see the results right here that it's working. So I'm pretty excited about it. And yeah. So anyway, let me show you the, oh, and so my sales were total for last week were $49.35. My cost of goods and my shipping and these fees, my profit came out at $25.42. So it was still half. I mean, my business generally runs on half. I've said that many times before. My Amazon is generally half profit. My eBay is half profit, and Bonanza's running half profit. So hey, that's good for me. Let me go ahead and show you the program that I was talking about, Refunds Manager. Like I said, I was introduced to this yesterday, and it's a program that installs on your computer, and it runs in the background. And you can see here that it's actually found 4 items that it's opened cases for me. It does take a day or two, I've heard, for it to actually update in their system. And so when those cases are opened, it'll be here in the case management section, and it'll show me the case IDs and how much money. I've heard a lot of people say that they're finding hundreds of dollars. So yeah, I mean, great for me. It doesn't cost anything to sign up. But you, like I said, you do pay the 25% of what they do find for you. But the way I see it is, I wasn't tracking it down, so it would have just been lost money. So there's that. So that's Refunds Manager. I will put a link in the comments so you can take a look at it. And yeah, and see if it's something for you. Other than that, it was a pretty decent week. So this week is kind of slower. It's not got a ton of sales, but that's okay because, like I said, I haven't been feeling that great mentally, and there's been a lot going on online and offline that I guess has just been affecting the way that I'm feeling lately. And that brings me to a topic that I just wanted to say. I know sometimes things with the reseller world can get really stupid really fast. And I just want you guys to remember that in the grand scheme of things, all of this stuff it's just not important. And I can say that it was affecting me to a point that I really considered just walking away entirely. Just because it takes a lot of time to put together videos like this, and it takes a lot of emotional, people that put out videos, all of the resellers that put out videos. I mean, Golden Finger Picker to Picking Profits to Global Voodoo to Bonafide Hustler to whoever it is, it doesn't matter how you feel about that person. They put a lot of time and heart. It takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of heart, and it takes, a lot to just be out in the open like this on YouTube. And so just remember that everybody that's on the screen in front of you, they're real people. They're real people with real feelings and real lives, and you have no idea what's going on with them, in their day-to-day life that is not on YouTube and is not on Facebook. Things that are important, things that are way more important than anything that goes down in any of the reseller community. So I just want to remind you guys that be kind. There's so much ugly in this world, all over the place. We really just don't need more and more ugly, So be kind. Just, there's more important things. So I just wanted to tell y'all, thank you for always being so supportive, and I think I have a really amazing subscriber base, and I appreciate each and every one of you that puts the time in to, if you watch even 1 minute of my video, I thank you very much for your 1 minute of time. So I hope everybody's having a really amazing week, and I hope your sales are doing great, and I'm gonna get myself together. I've got to get my business back going. I just have so much going on in my personal life that it really threw me off track. But yeah, I can't sell anything if it's not listed. So I've got to get this stuff out of here and get back to business. So I love you guys. Thank you so much, and everybody have a really amazing week. Bye.